Good morning, friends. Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Hole-Up Project, and today we're going to take a video on something that I did not expect to happen. So, here we go. So I'm fooling around with the key here. I got the engine to crank over. Major achievement. But I looked underneath the dash and we had the smoke just rolling out from underneath of there. And let me tell you, there's nothing scarier than the magic white smoke from the electronics. I let the genie out of something. Now, I'm not going to show you the magic smoke genies that get let out of these things, because they're probably known to cause California and the state of cancer, and nobody needs that. So, we got to get that key out of there. And just, like Mr. Rogers in the land of make-believe, what you're going to do is you're going to take that key and you're going to turn it to the left one notch or to accessory. And then you're going to take a paper clip or something of the like and stuff it in that little hole. Can you see her there? Okay. And while you do that, you can feel the little detent depress, and you can turn and wiggle. Turn it to the left and wiggle and jiggle, and out she'll come, just like that. So, that's your key lock cylinder. Then you're left with this guy, and we just pull him, and they make a special little three-pegged deal to get that out of there, but they're not in there that tight, and if if this thing's beat up and has the patina like mine does, you don't really care about an extra scratch, so they come out anti-clockwise, and you just go ahead and give those little detents a little tap with the screwdriver in the palm of your hand, and then she'll go ahead and walk right on out of there. So let's undo that, and once you do that, this will fall out of the bottom. So I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, so here we are. So now that we got our lock cylinder removed, we'll go ahead and turn this guy. Off she comes. This whole mess will fall out of the bottom. Pop this guy off. They fit together like peas and carrots. And then you're left with your harness here and your ignition switch. You can buy both of these. Standard still makes them. We're going to go ahead and pop our two detents here for the wiring harness and pull the ignition switch out of there. So let me get some tools and we'll do that, and then we'll look for wiring. Boy, that thing was smoking. Alright, well, I'm having a heck of a time getting this thing out of here. But let's take a look if we can. Can I get you in here? We've got this thing that's all taped up here. It's looking pretty bad. Like, pretty bad. We got some purple here that's not looking too user-friendly. It looks like it's melting right into the casing there. What else do we got? Brown, red, pink. And then we got our other red over here. Jesus, that thing is just smoked in there. Well, let me work at this a little bit and try and get this connector out of this guy. She might be melted in there, so this could take a little bit. Alright, I got that popped off of there. Can you see that? Boy, she melted. Whew. Stinks too. Then we've got this guy hanging out on his own over here. I would bet that's main feed. I can't tell. It's too dark. It's brown. So let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pin connector. Here's our new one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So those look to be identical, minus the meltiness there. So I'd say that's a good bingo. That is part number US 84, standard brand. Feeling pretty confident there. Now, what am I not feeling confident in here? Well, for one, confidence level is always low with wiring and me. And let's see here. I know that those purples always go to the starter. That's kind of a standard GM thing. We got some pinks and reds. We got some browns. Like I said, we got this big old thick boy here. And he's been tapped into. I don't know what for. Or with what, I should say. It's kind of scary. Shouldn't tap into these things. I mean, it's not a... I can't tell you what the load is on that because I just don't know. But that's going to take some figuring, unfortunately. So it looks like they went ahead and made, instead of a single plug now on these new ones, looks like they incorporated it into the harness with the double brown. Then we've got the right below that, which melted away. Pink off to the side. Yep. Got the red. Yep. And then 2 browns. And then we've got greens, and we've got an empty hole in our green, so we aren't going to need that. Oh boy, this is going to be a sucky day. Alright, let me make a decision on what I'm going to do here, and I'll bring you back. Okay, kind of sorting through these wires. This is power in to the ignition switch. These green ones here are for, according to the wiring schematic, they are for the idiot light for the temperature sensor. So we can get rid of them, and all we got to do is push in on this little titty here and then pull the plug out of the back. So that's no big deal. Maybe I put it in the wrong direction. Not uncommon around these parts. So anyway, these green wires, they're not going to do anything for us today. So they need to go goodbye-bye. Let's see, purple wire, that's your solenoid, pretty standard on GM. Got the pink wire for accessories. And then we got 2 brown sets of wires. We got the old thick boy here, the brown, and then his partner. And then we got 2 thin browns here. These 2 thin browns are equivalent to the tan, and they are for your brake switch light and brake switch. That would be up there on your proportioning valve. And then your brown one, I believe, what do we got? What does the thingamajigger say here? Brown. This guy, the brown with the black dots, it used to be brown with a white stripe on the old one. That runs out to the voltage regulator. And then this guy, your thick brown, that's going to be power. I'm going to start popping out the ones I don't need, and then we'll go right back to it. Okay, moving right along here. So I think our pink wire looks good in our original loom, so we're going to get rid of him. Again, we're just going to stick our screwdriver in here. And then you can kind of feel it pop. Kind of like your back when you lift something that's too heavy. And then you pull her out. Do the same thing over on this guy. Sorry about the lighting. There's just no good way for me and you to get good lighting. How's that? Better? Okay, now take and put this guy in. Pull him out. And then try it again. There she is. And then we'll go ahead and lift up his little tip back there just a little bit. There you go. Blast me right in the eye. And then lift him up just a bit so he'll snap back into the new harness. And then this is where we're going to get all messed around here because of the hands. And then we'll stick it in. I hope. Okay, and then we'll force it down in there, and then it'll stay. And everybody will be happy, and then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, here we are. We're down to the purple one. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and snip this guy about right here. Look at how bad that is. Let's get this thing out in the light so we can see it. There she is, all melted, all craziness, all melted up in here. What in the hell? I don't know what would have caused that. Maybe a cross. Maybe the switch itself was bad and it back fed through here and melted that down. Man, that's nasty. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the new harness and strip it down, and we'll try my soldering techniques, and we'll heat shrink wrap it and everything so that don't happen again. Boy, that's bad. Okay, my friends, so I'm up in here and I'm working away, and remember that big old nasty brown one that we had hanging down? Well, it looks like it's black. And then we get up in here and I'm getting the tape off of it, just trying to figure out where the good part of the wire is, and I find a bullet connector that goes ahead and branches off into this extra specialness here. And I'm thinking to myself, well, is that a GM option there? What do we got going on? Why don't you guys write in the comments below whether or not you guys have ever seen a bullet connector in GM wiring. Not going to say that it isn't possible, but the end of this thing is just nasty. So, I think I'm going to nip her off up in here and just replace it. Which will probably end up, using most of this new brown wire that comes in the connector in the new one. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll make it, but it's been a challenge, I'll tell you. I'm going to go ahead and do my work, and I'll bring you back and we'll do a smoke test. Woo, Lord have mercy, what a job. I got all my wires all hooked up here. Let's, you see? Can't see very well. How's that? Better? Worse? Let's pull it out and give her the old smoke test. It should get hot right away. Okay, that would be the off position. There's on. I can tell there's an improvement already because it's not trying to do the starter solenoid. And if I turn it farther, oh, very nice. Now all we got to do is put her together. So, in order to do that, there's a flat side right here. That'll match up to this flat side right here. Like so. Then we'll, whoop, we don't need power probing going on. Quit it. And then we'll take it and stuff it up here. And then take and thread this guy on. How many threads you got, youngin'? Okay, now let's give a little tap. Give her secure. There. Maybe one more over here. And there we go. Everybody's in. And then we'll take our key. And he'll just drop right on in. Actually, let's go ahead and reset this back to accessory position. Okay, and then we'll he'll fall in there like that. Ta-da! All done. No more smoke. No more smoke. Let's see if we can give her a little. There we go. That ought to do it. Off, on, start, ice. Everybody's happy. Woo! That was quite an experience. Well, anyway, I've got my orange on. It's Halloween. I hope everybody out there had a fantastic Halloween or is about to whenever this video decides to go live. And thank you for watching the Hold Up Project. And hopefully that simple little task won't take you as long as it took me. Oh boy, what a deal. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day. And we'll see you next Friday on the Hold Up Project.